there are many important episodes of House, but some changed the show forever. Throughout every season of House, there are episodes that switch things up and impact the overarching story going forward. From tragic deaths to staffing changes in House's team of doctors, it's never long before the show throws a spanner in the works, for better or for worse. Most episodes of House tend to follow a story of the week format with a new medical mystery for the titular Dr. Gregory House, Hugh Laurie, to solve. However, some House episodes break the formula and try something new, which often results in crucial, series-changing events. Regardless of why, these episodes of House are the most important of the series and are incredibly impactful on the show overall. 8. 3 Stories. Season 1, Episode 21. House giving a lecture to a room full of students, in front of a blackboard, in the House episode, 3 Stories. Many consider 3 Stories the best episode of House for several reasons, but especially because it mixes up the show's typical formula. In this episode, House fills in for a colleague professor so he can once again make up clinic hours he fails to complete, and during the class, he shares 3 unique and strange case stories with the students. While it's fascinating to see the way the titular character depicts these tales of medical marvels, the reason why 3 Stories is so important is because of House's backstory development. 3 Stories explains to audiences just how House hurt his leg in the first place. House's limp is a crucial part of his characterization, and what makes this discovery even more brilliant is that he indirectly shares this information through a patient story, only later revealing that he was, in fact, said patient. Plus, House's ex, Stacy, is introduced, which not only provides more context on his past in general, but also about his early relationship with Cuddy and the origin of his addiction. 7. Human Error. Season 3, Episode 24. Esteban sitting in bed with his wife, Marina, who is wearing medical equipment in the hospital in the House episode, Human Error. Human Error changes House forever in terms of both the main characters and the powerful patient story. Human Error sees a Cuban couple, Esteban and Marina Hernandez, make a dangerous escape to the US in the hopes of the titular character solving one of House's most bizarre medical cases. This episode not only provides a heartbreaking reality of how the healthcare system works in both the US and internationally, but it also shines a light on the harrowing experiences of those with complex illnesses. Outside the story of the week, House's team of doctors are also going through their own dramas. One of the most difficult decisions made in House is when House fires Chase in this episode, and while it doesn't seem a hard choice at first, in later seasons, it's apparent that's far from the case. At the end of Human Error, Cameron quits, too, after questioning House about his feelings towards her. Thankfully, this isn't when Cameron actually leaves the show, but it's still a shocking moment nonetheless. 6. Birthmarks. Season 5, Episode 4. Hugh Laurie as Dr. Gregory House at his father's funeral, standing by a military coffin in the House episode, Birthmarks. Another groundbreaking installment of House that expands upon the titular character's backstory is Season 5's Birthmarks, which is one of the most stressful episodes of House ever. In Birthmarks, House learns the news of his father's death and is forced to face his memories of his childhood. As he also treats a young woman who has her own issues with her biological parents, House reflects on how his father shaped him growing up, and audiences discover more about their already established strained relationship. That it turns out that House's father, John, wasn't his real father, something the character challenged him about at only 12 years old. Birthmarks is also an important episode for House and Wilson's relationship. House is extremely toxic to Wilson in this episode, and he even gets his so-called best friend arrested for speeding because he wants to avoid the funeral. However, this unfair interaction later results in House and audiences finding out more about the breakdown of Wilson's first marriage. 5. Moving On. Season 7, Episode 23. Hugh Laurie as Gregory House stood in the wreckage of Cuddy's dining room after crashing in the House episode, Moving On. Moving On marks the departure of Lisa Edelstein's Cuddy in House. In the episode's opening moments, the front wall of Cuddy's house is destroyed, she is being interviewed by the police, and Wilson is injured. Considering the previous episode, After Hours, ends rather calmly, this sudden shift is rather abrupt. Through flashbacks, it's revealed that House drives through the front of Cuddy's house in a jealous rage, breaking Wilson's wrist in the process. After he sees a man with her through the window, Cuddy realizes just how far House has gone in Moving On, and that she is unable to help someone who doesn't want to be helped anymore. She hangs around for a while, ensuring House returns to the ICU when he disappears and generally tries to wrangle him so that he'll rest. But ultimately, Cuddy knows she can't be around him anymore. Cuddy disappears after this, Foreman takes over her role, and House begins Season 8 in jail. As season finales go, House's Season 7 finale is definitely an important one. 4. Broken. Season 6, Episode 1. House's Season 6 premiere episode, Broken, sees Gregory House forcing himself into rehabilitation after the hospital threatens to revoke his license. This episode delves into the fallout of House's Vicodin addiction, his detox process, and his inability to recognize his habit is out of control and that he needs help. Broken features a great House celebrity cameo from Lin-Manuel Miranda as Juan Alvi Alvarez, a patient on the ward with bipolar disorder and House's roommate. House's interactions with Alvi only exacerbate his denial, and he refers to the other patients as crazy on a regular basis. However, House's restrictions eventually make him reflect on his experiences and his attitude toward those who are in rehab with him, although it takes some time. House's stubbornness is more apparent than ever in Broken, but it's a groundbreaking episode that pushes the character to acknowledge his problems in an attempt at a brighter future. 3. Wilson's Heart. Season 4, Episode 16. Wilson's Heart is an unbelievably heartbreaking episode, which features House's most tragic death. While House's Head is also a great episode, Wilson's Heart is when the emotion really kicks in. After House remembers Amber being with him on the bus, a flood of memories returns to him. House realizes that Amber being hurt is his fault, but she's stuck at another hospital, which triggers a race against time. Wilson's Heart is deeply moving, and nobody is the same again after the events of the episode, especially Wilson. What makes it even more painful is that even though Amber is already quite unwell before her death, there is still some sort of hope for her before the crash. The scene with Wilson cradling Amber is gutting to watch, as is House's final conversation with her spirit. Wilson and House's friendship takes some hits throughout House, but Wilson's Heart is by far the hardest.